The Second Battle of Fallujah, codenamed Operation Phantom Fury, began on November 7, 2004. It was one of the most intense and violent engagements of the Iraq War, lasting roughly 6 weeks, and is widely remembered as the bloodiest battle fought by U.S. forces during the conflict. A joint offensive led by the United States, Iraqi interim government, and British forces, Phantom Fury was aimed at retaking the insurgent stronghold of Fallujah, a city deeply embedded in Iraq's Sunni triangle and a longtime Ba'athist bastion. Fallujah, home to over 200 mosques, had held strategic and symbolic importance since Saddam Hussein's rule. After the 2003 invasion, tensions between U.S. forces and residents escalated quickly. On April 28, 2003, during a standoff, gunfire erupted between American troops and protesters. Reports conflicted on who fired first, but 17 civilians were killed. The event became a turning point, inflaming local resentment and opening the door for growing insurgent activity. By March 31, 2004, tensions boiled over when 4 Blackwater contractors were ambushed, killed, and mutilated, with their bodies publicly displayed. Simultaneously, 5 American soldiers were also killed in nearby Habbaniyah. In response, the U.S. launched its first attempt to retake the city, Operation Vigilant Resolve, on April 4th. But from the outset, the mission struggled. The Iraqi National Guard, expected to support the assault, deserted on the morning of the attack. Despite this, U.S. Marines made initial progress, securing parts of the city and killing hundreds of insurgents. However, mounting civilian casualties and political pressure forced an early withdrawal. Operation Vigilant Resolve ended by late April. In the months that followed, Fallujah became a magnet for foreign fighters and hardened insurgents. Chechens, Saudis, Syrians, Libyans, and more, many battle-experienced, well-armed, and determined. Intelligence reported a city being fortified with IEDs, booby-trapped homes, and kill zones. It was clear Fallujah was preparing for war. By late 2004, the U.S. military encircled the city, allowing most civilians to flee. Reportedly, up to 90% of the population evacuated. Some reports claim that military-aged males were prevented from leaving, but these accounts remain unconfirmed. On the night of November 7th, the operation began in full. Special forces initiated diversionary attacks, while the main assault, led by U.S. Marines and Army soldiers, entered Fallujah head-on. The battle quickly descended into brutal close-quarters combat. Insurgents detonated buildings to collapse them onto advancing Marines. Sniper nests were concealed throughout the city. U.S. forces responded with heavy firepower, including controversial use of white phosphorus munitions to flush out entrenched defenders. One of the most infamous moments came at a place later dubbed the Hell House. Trapped under fire from insurgents on the second floor, a squad of Marines fought a 4-hour battle to rescue their wounded. 10 were injured, 1 killed. It was just one of many such scenes repeated block by block across Fallujah. To avoid open street ambushes, Marines adopted the tactic of mouse-holing, blasting holes through walls to move between buildings internally. This method, used previously by Soviet forces in World War II, minimized exposure to snipers and IED-rigged doorways. Psychological warfare also played a role. At night, loudspeakers blared heavy metal, distorted screams, and even the eerie laugh from the Predator movie. The audio was so unsettling that even U.S. troops reportedly requested it be turned off above. AC-130 gunships prowled the sky, targeting enemy strongpoints from the darkness. The battle was relentless. Most of the fighting was over by the end of the first week, but pockets of resistance held out until mid-December. By the end of the assault, 107 U.S. service members had been killed and more than 600 wounded. The intensity of the first 10 days alone accounted for the majority of these casualties. On the other side, coalition forces estimated that between 1,500 and 2,000 insurgents were killed, with around 1,500 more captured during the operation. While most civilians had been evacuated prior to the battle, reducing non-combatant casualties significantly compared to previous engagements, Fallujah itself was left in ruins. Out of an estimated 50,000 buildings in the city, as many as 10,000 were completely destroyed, and up to 70% of the remaining structures suffered varying degrees of damage. Over 60 mosques, many repurposed as weapons depots or strongholds by insurgents, were either heavily damaged or destroyed. The city's once dense infrastructure was now a fragmented skeleton of concrete, dust, and scorched steel. Despite the operation's success in breaking the insurgent hold over Fallujah, many of the high-value targets, including al-Qaeda in Iraq leader Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, escaped before the fighting began. Though local resistance was quelled, the broader insurgency merely shifted to other strongholds, including Ramadi and regions throughout Anbar province. The destruction left behind raised serious questions about the cost of urban warfare, not just in terms of human life, but in the political and moral aftermath as well. In the United States and abroad, Operation Phantom Fury became a symbol of both the military's capabilities and the immense challenges of counterinsurgency warfare. It was a battle that showcased the brutality of modern urban combat, room by room, block by block, with no clear front line and no easy retreat. For many Marines who fought there, Fallujah was a defining moment. For others, it remains a grim reminder of how little ground can be gained, even in victory, when the enemy is decentralized and ideology fuels the fight. Though the city was later handed over to the Iraqi government, insurgent activity in the region persisted. And by 2006, much of Anbar province, excluding the now pacified Fallujah, had once again fallen into insurgent control. The battle was won, but not the war. Fallujah, once celebrated as the city of mosques, would now be remembered as a city of devastation, sacrifice, and unfinished business. If you found this breakdown informative, consider subscribing to SITREP Archive for more detailed analyses of significant military operations, past and present. New reports are always in the works. Till next time, stay sharp.